Hello guys, and we're back for another video standard deck tech for Lost Caverns of Ixalan, and we're going to check on one of the user submitted list by Not Jinx. He called this one as the Bant Angels. He initially said it is a Celestia, just green-white, but I've noticed some blue components with also splashing for a fourth color sort of that we can discuss in a bit. So we know that we have several reprints, and probably the most relevant one was the reprint of the Splendid Angel in the recent set. And coming from the Pioneer setup, I think this is still going to be a viable tribal deck for the standard format. So we're going to do a quick breakdown here. We have 27 creatures. There are a lot of good angel choices here in the current set that is available for standard. We have 3 battles, 3 instants, we have 24 lands, particularly including the new and the reprinted Caverns of Souls, and 3 Planeswalkers of the Wandering Emperor. So what are our choices first as to why we have to be that of the Angel Tribal? So first up is the 4 copies of Giada, Font of Hope. So Giada is again added here because its ability that can benefit and ramp you up to other angels spells, and also get them to have additional +1 counter for each angel already controlled on the battlefield. So not only is going to be a good 2-drop, which can later on become a good attacker also with the Flying Vigilance, and again it's going to get you to ramp up to your best spells and letting you ahead of your opponent. So in that way, we also have versions here that is 2 copies of Errant of Giada. This also goes in a way that benefiting you because of having you to cast spells with flash or flying on the top of your library. So since most of your angels are basically flying, you can basically have this one as sort of a card advantage by letting you cast them from the top of your library, and also having to look at the top card of your library at any time. So that is the 2 copies. We also have 3 copies of the Guardian of Girapur. So this is 3 to cast, 3/3 flying. Whenever there's a battlefield, exile to 1 other target creature artifact you control, and then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning and next end step. So anything that can have you to benefit to sort of momentarily blink your other creature. I think this one's a good target here would be the Steel Seraph, since Seraph can be casted for each prototype cost and then can be blinked later on and become a 5/4 instead of just a 3/3 creature. So Guardian of Girapur probably those would for that kind of combo. So that is having also 3 copies in the deck. Next up, we have 3 copies of Metropolis Reformer. So this one from March of the Machines Aftermath. Also a way for you to protect from any sort of discard effects because of having yourself hexproof, while also having a Flying Vigilance creature at the same time. And whenever it deals damage, you can also gain that much life. So any burn spells would also get you to benefit for that. So additional also is again the 4 copies of Splendid Angel. So this is now the new inclusion in the probably one of the strongest creature added in this tribal deck, because its ability that if you're be able to gain 5 or more life at the end of each end step, you will be able to create a 4/4 white angel creature token with Flying Vigilance, and also have this good mana sink in the late game, wherein you can be able to pump your angels or pump basically Splendid Angel to get +2/+2 against lifelink. So that is 4 copies in the deck. We also have 2 copies of utility creature Werewolf's Bodyguard. So the Bodyguard here would probably become a flashy exile effect that can exile up to 1 other target non-fax creature, and you can also sacrifice this if needed to gain you 2 life. So that is 2 copies in the deck. We also have 3 copies of Serra Paragon. So the Paragon here would really act as not only sort of a utility creature, because you may be able to cast or play a land from your graveyard, the main of the permanent spell that is mana value 3 or less. And if it would be able to exile, if you're able to leave the battlefield or put it in the graveyard, you can exile it and you will gain 2 life. So any of the 3 mana spells later on, such as this one's variety of your angels that are 3 mana cost or less, can be cast from your graveyard at the edge of your turn for only 1 time. So additional also is Sigarda, Font of Blessings. This Sigarda is more of a having to protect your creatures, but also having a good 4/4 body flyer. Other permanents you control have hexproof, and you may look at the top card at any time, and of course sort of a effect of that of Errant and Giada, which mean that you can also cast angel spells and human spells from the top of your library. So that's 2 copies. And again, 3 copies of Seal Seraph, which is also an angel per se of this tribal, which can also casted for prototype as a 3/3 and later on can also become a 5/4 hard cast for 6 mana and also can be blink by the Girapur. It has ability that can also get your creature flying, vigilant, lifelink. At any time, you can also have this one as a good lifelink effect by also making sure that those lifelink would get you the benefit to trigger the Splendid Angels and step ability. So that also gives you a good variety of creatures or triggers that can get you ahead on the board or maybe on the life damage race. And last but not least is inclusion of Atraxa, Grand Unifier. Surprisingly, she's an angel, and for 7 mana, 7/7, you can get also a good flying, vigilance, death touch, and lifelink creature. At the same time, gets you to refill your hand with this ability. And that's only for having 1 copy of this, because you can notice here that you can still have the Bant colors, but the mana fix for black would be instantly be solved by having Cavern of Souls in your deck. That is also 4 copies. Now for the non-creature spells, we have 3 Battle of card that is this is the Invasion of Gobakan. This can also benefit to check on your opponent's hand and maybe tax their best spell for that certain scenario. At the same time, if you would be able to flip this one into Light Shield Ally, you can still be able to have this one adding possible encounters on its creature that attack this turn. It can also protect you from any spot removals or destroy effects by sacrificing this one to that effect of Hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. And the other non-creature, which is the instant, the new card Get Lost, which is also gets good instant spot removal for creature, enchantment, and Planeswalker. At the benefit of that, your opponent will create 2 map tokens under their control. Now for the only creature Planeswalker in the deck, which is the Abandoned Emperor, is again your utility card because of ability that can also do some combat tricks to go and having first strike. Also can create an army of its own by flooding with 2/2 white summon creature tokens, and also can exile a good target from your opponent's top creature, and also gaining 2 life in the process. Now for the lands, which are mostly composed of Cavern of Souls, this can be able for you to resolve your angels, particularly naming that creature type and spending this mana to cast the said creature type, and that can be countered. We also have some copies of Channel Lands such as Iganju, City of the Empire. We have Plains also, and the fix for Tri-Lands, Raven's Tower. Green White would probably have this one 4 copies, so we'll raise the Verge Ticket. 1 copy of Restless Anchorage, which is another source for a manland that is becoming a 2/3 white and blue creature with flying. We have also a copy of Restless Prairie, which also can become a 3/3 llama creature, but can also get you to pump other creatures to control. 4 copies of Seacom Coast, which is also a good fix for you to adding white and blue mana, and 2 copies of Sparacid Quarters, which also goes well to fix for the Bant. Basically, these are the Bant colors that can be handled by this Tri-Land. So overall, that is your main deck. And for your tribal, the mana curve is specifically at 3.31 with more of 3 and 4 drops. Core distribution is mostly white, as you can see here. 45 cards are mostly covered with white, with just a few of the green, blue. And the mana producers, we have 28 for white, green is 11, and blue is 13. And your tokens would be producing is the Angel token from the Splendid Angel, Map token, and Samurai token from the Wandering Emperor. So probably that is about it for this tribal deck for Bant Angels by Not Jinx. I'm pretty sure this is one would be the one of the probably the top tribal choice now for the upcoming standard format with Lost Caverns of Ixalan, and we can probably see some gameplay on this in the coming major tournaments once the set is legal to play. So I guess that's pretty much it for this deck for standard. Thank you for checking this video. See you guys on the next one.